New set, new look, new network. Catch the Tonya G Show every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. on WeBelieveDigital.com. Let's talk politics, business, the future, and more. Interested in being a guest? Email viralstreamtv@gmail.com. The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com. Welcome to the Tonya G Show, where we talk health, politics, business, and so much more. I am joined by my co-host today, Miss Vanessa Edmonds, and we are here to talk about everything. Politics, community, business, whatever we can cover, we're going to talk about it. Vanessa, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
So let's jump right into it. Let's start with the city of Jackson. In May 4th of this year, we attended a city council meeting, and the title of the meeting was Tackling Jackson's Crime Crisis. I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think there is a crime crisis in Jackson?
Absolutely. Yes, there's a crime crisis in Jackson, and it's deeper than, just putting the mayor at fault and putting this person at fault. The mayor cannot be in your house raising your children. You got to raise your own children. Okay?
Right.
And as far as the adults that are doing things, you need to be an adult about things. Go get you a job and stop robbing, stealing, and killing. And as far as these children, see, I'm one of those people that believe that what has happened is we started allowing people to come into our home,
right,
and tell us how to raise our children,
right?
Because we would get little Johnny Earl in the store when he cut up, and then people started seeing that woman got 5 children in the store with her, and ain't nobody cut up. And then you got somebody over here that have one little person with them, and they laying out in the floor. You know what I mean? So then that's when people started getting involved and started telling us about rearing our children.
Right.
And I do not agree with that, because you have to parent as it relates to you.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And I feel like if you're not accepting so much, then people won't be able to input so much and tell you what you can and cannot do. So going back to that, yes, there is a problem with crime in the city of Jackson. There's a problem with crime everywhere.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
People are more comfortable with committing crimes in Jackson because, number one, they know that whatever they get into, it's not going to stick. Somebody just shot 4 or 5 people over there on such street. And, well, girl, we saw them on the news yesterday when they having a barbecue down there at,
Well, let me say this, Vanessa, because, I feel like there are issues definitely in the Black community, but I think when we say crisis, now you have to understand there's a population of 161,000 in Jackson, somewhere around there. And so the number of people who were murdered last year was 139.
Right.
When you think about
facts. That's right.
When you think about the statistics of people, 139 people is not a crisis. Let me say to me.
To you.
But let
right.
me say this. When you report murders every night, then I think you put scare tactics out there, and you sensationalize, and you make that be all that there is. So that's all the imaging that we see.
Right.
So then that's not a very fair depiction of really what goes on. Because when you think about crime, I think about carjackings, I think about rape, I think about property crime. It's not just murder, you understand? So when you say crisis, I think you just have to be careful with the narrative of how you paint
the word. That's right. You
Black
can't
people,
paint that type
Black
of picture.
men.
That's
You understand?
Right. Yeah. Let me tell you something about Jackson. I have had an opportunity to live anywhere that I want to live.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not just talking about in Mississippi. I'm just talking about period. And my 47-year-old self, I chose to stay in Jackson.
Right.
Even with all this. I can move to Madison if I want to.
So do I.
Lakeland or wherever I want to, but I want to stay in Jackson.
Right.
Because this is where I want to be.
Why?
Because it is a great place to live.
Right.
You understand me? And I don't want to run. I want to stay where I am.
Exactly.
And I've raised my kids there.
Exactly.
And I want to continue to stay there. And yes, the news do report a lot of bad.
Right.
There are some good things.
Right.
There are some good things that go on in Jackson.
Right, absolutely.
There are more great people in Jackson.
So is that reported?
Well, of course, you and I both know.
No, because you're showing that we're being murdered every night, and you're saying that it's a crisis. That's a lie. But
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Now, when I look at the news, because I'm a news watcher.
Yes.
So when I look at the news, and when you just asked me that question, I'm like, yeah, it's a crisis. Because of the fact that I'm watching the news.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's key.
And that's key. Watching the news. And I have a great deal of respect for people that deliver the news.
Right.
Some of my friends are anchorers, you know, and I love them, and I love that. But we need to see more positive images. And we need to see more positive things.
That's all I'm saying.
I do not like the fact that, we are in our area, it's a lot going on.
Right.
You don't want to pick the paper up off the street.
Oh, V.
You don't want to cut your grass. And then, you got 50 cars in the yard. Go on, take them on down the road to the man.
Why won't you do it? Take it to the scrap yard?
Take it to the scrap yard. Just do that. And so when you are living a certain way, okay, when you're living a certain way, what happens is if you're always getting up with a mindset that you're defeated.
Right.
That is what happens. So you are prone for all this criminal activity. You're prone for everything that's bad and nothing is good because you're not believing. And you have to get up with a mindset every day to say, you know what? God, whatever I face today, it is okay.
Right.
Because today is going to be better than what it was yesterday. I'm going to leave yesterday back there. But Tonya, I just really think that we got to do something. Like,
now, when you say the citizens,
the citizens, we have to do something. This is our city.
Absolutely.
This is our city.
Absolutely.
Nobody have to go to the outskirts of Jackson and tell people what to do. You have committees that are doing things.
Why don't we have that, V? Why are we not more involved as citizens? Because, I'm going to get to the legislatures in a minute because of what they don't do and what they could be doing more. But we also have to take responsibility as citizens, and we are not doing anything. Why are we not doing anything? Why are we not forming committees?
Well, let me just say this. We over here, right here. We're doing something.
In this space.
We're in this space.
Right.
We're doing something.
Right.
Not only that, you have to do what you have to do and not worry about getting glory for it. Just do it.
Girl.
Don't nobody have to write no story about you doing nothing. Just do what you know is right.
It's right.
Just do what's right. Just do what's right. That's just like I was visiting one of my friends to go and drop off a card to her son for graduation. So I'm driving through this neighborhood. There is a congratulatory balloon on every mailbox. So when I pulled up at her home, I said, "Girl, there's balloons all up and down the neighborhood." I said, "My goodness, what is going on?" She said, "That's what they do for the graduates." I said, "You're not gonna tell me that it is a balloon on every mailbox in this neighborhood?" She said, "Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to get in the car and ride with you?" Girl, we drove down the street. My aunt stayed right around the corner from her. There was a balloon on every mailbox. Because somebody
got together and organized
that and made it happen. You understand me? Then they did a parade for all the children. Guess how much every homeowner in that neighborhood had to pay for that particular?
$20 or
$5. $5.
Just to do that.
And they celebrated everybody that graduated in that neighborhood. And you don't go through that neighborhood and see paper on the ground, cars just not working and things like that. Because somebody has taken the initiative to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. If you need some help, we're here to help you.
Right.
You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is what we have to do. We have to take our stuff back. There's no reason for us to drive up and down the street. There are holes everywhere. There's no need for us to See houses that are literally not just torn down or have fallen down because nobody's breathing life in them, but are burnt down because somebody has decided that they was going to sleep in there. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And trying to keep warm or whatever they were doing.
Right.
Caused a fire. And then here we have a whole of a house that's there burnt up. And it's just sitting there for years.
Vanessa, hold that thought. So we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in to the Tonya G Show with my co-host, Vanessa Edmonds. We'll be right back after the break.
All right.
I'm Tonya Gray with your Insurance Minute. A final expense life insurance policy is also often called burial insurance. This type of insurance policy is designed to pay any cost associated with your death. The amount that the insurance policy pays out depends on how much you pay for the premiums during the life of the plan. Some people have a clear idea of how they want their funeral or burial to be, while other individuals do not care one way or another. Whether you have the perfect funeral planned or simply do not care what happens to your body after you die, it is still important to note that any type of funeral that is planned for you will not be cheap. The cost of a funeral is not something you want to leave to your family to come up with. Most people cannot afford to spend upwards of $10,000 all at once. If you do not want this burden to fall on your family and you do not have the cash ready to pay for your cremation or burial, final expense life insurance policies are there for you. Let the KPG agency help to ease the worry of this financial burden. Contact us today to start your policy.
The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com. You're tuned in to the Tonya G Show. I am joined with my co-host, Miss Vanessa Edmonds, and we have someone that responded to the segment here, Vanessa. Gaynell Tenzie said the same things are happening in our surrounding cities, but it's not reported like Jackson. What do you?
Absolutely. There's crime everywhere.
Yes.
Do you hear me? There is crime everywhere. And they are not reporting it.
Right.
And because of the fact that we are the capital city, there's a lot of focus on us.
Right.
And I just feel that people need to know that, you know, and it's just too much. It's just too much. I mean, if you're gonna tell the bad, tell the good.
Absolutely.
And most cases with us,
there's a lot of good.
The good outweigh the bad.
I'm going to make this point, and then we're going to move on to another topic. Mr. Garrett talked about on his show during we had a water break, or there was something going on with the water, and he had to deliver water. So he's a black business that got out here and delivered water. Mm-hmm. And the news did not report this black man, black-owned business, doing something positive in the community because they're too busy saying that it's a crime crisis and they showing black men committing crime every day. So we're going to move on to the next topic here. So, Miss Monique was real hot in the headlines talking about bonnets in public, and I think there have been businesses that have started to put signs up with black faces and the bonnets on it, saying that you can't come into the establishment with a bonnet on. What is your thoughts on women wearing bonnets in public?
Let's go back. So I need you to say that to me again. There are businesses that have gone to the extreme to put signs up with black women's faces.
It was a black woman's face with a bonnet. I saw this on somebody else's Facebook who posted it and asked what was our thoughts on it. And I'll tell you my thoughts after I get your thoughts. But yes, this was on a rental office. I don't know where it was, but it had the sign that said, if you have a bonnet, don't enter the rental office with your bonnet.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the bonnet thing.
Let's do it.
I have been a cosmetologist for 26 years, okay? 26 years. And I believe in you taking care of your hair.
I do too.
Okay, I love what I've done for those years.
Yes.
In my profession. I don't like the bonnet.
I don't either.
I can't stand the bonnet.
I don't either.
I mean, it gives me a sense of a lot of times people are just lazy. But there are people, I have had clients that have gotten out of the hospital and they've had they've had to go get their own medicine. They've had to go and do everything for themselves. And they've had to go and pick up meds or groceries or whatever. And they've left the store from where they were shopping and came straight to my salon and got their hair done. Mm-hmm. After they left the salon, they want to go on to the house and, and rest or whatever. I don't like the bonnet. Mm-hmm. I feel that it's something that you should put on your head and wear in the privacy of your home. But baby, if you want to wear that bonnet out in public, so be it. I don't care to see it. Right. It gets to be too much. But if that's what you want to do, see, I'm not gonna get into the riffraff with whether you should wear your bonnet or not. Right. If that's what you want to do, wear your bonnet.
Well, people are gonna do what they want to do.
They're gonna do what they want to do regardless.
My take on it is, what does the rest of your person look like? Because sometimes you look like you just rolled out of bed. You have your house shoes on, you have your bonnet, and you just look like you just kind of rolled out of bed. Now, if you're running around, so let's say I've just gotten my hair done, V, and I need to get ready for an event, and my curls need to stay intact for an event. I might have my bonnet on to protect my curls, or I may have a scarf or something on to protect my curls. But I'm not gonna.
But you don't have your pajamas on.
The rest of my body, right? It's not gonna look like I just walked out. So I think there are exceptions to the bonnet, but I don't think that should be your normal mode of operation when you wake up every morning. Just because I can, I'm going to do.
I should not see you in the store on Monday and see you on Friday in the store with the same pajamas and the same bonnet on. I'm sorry. Let's just keep it real. No, you do not have to get up every day and put on a full face. You don't have to do that.
Right.
No, you do not have to, curl your hair every day if you don't want to.
Right.
But you do need to comb your hair. You can pull it back in a ponytail. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yes. You can look presentable.
You can look presentable.
I agree.
But the bonnet must go.
And the bonnet is gonna go. So we're gonna move to our next topic. Healthcare is a really hot topic. I've had a few incidents where I've had to go to the ER, and I've dealt with. I'm not gonna say the hospital that I've dealt with, and the staff, is sometimes white. Majority of the times when you go to the ER. There have been reports of how black women are treated during labor versus how non-blacks are treated. What are your thoughts on how medical staff treats us, white or black, and what can be done, I guess, in terms of customer service so we have a better experience? Or have you had a bad experience with healthcare staff? I'm talking about attitude, V. I'm talking about feeling, racial, whatever, if it's somebody that's not black. Just what have been your experiences in the healthcare field when you've gone to the doctor?
Now, I choose who I give my money to. Okay? Mm-hmm. And the majority of the time, if I'm dealing with someone in healthcare, it is my personal doctor. My personal physician, it's my personal dentist, it's my personal. You get what I'm saying? People that I've been going to for years. But I have experienced a couple of years ago with a nurse that was my doctor's nurse. And this doctor had great bedside manners. He was like the doctor. He was very understanding. But his nurse that worked with him, I had difficulties doing this particular pregnancy, okay? My blood pressure is always on the rise, when I'm pregnant. And I have my baby girl was born premature at 28 weeks, okay? Because my blood pressure stayed on the rise. But I will never forget this one particular day. I had gone in for my checkup, and the doctor was like, okay, Vanessa, we're going to go ahead on and put you on bed rest because of XYZ. And a nurse practitioner came in, and she said, you're not the first pregnant person, and you won't be the last.
Ooh.
And I think myself personally that you should be able to go on back to work.
Oh.
But I'm going to just do what he asked me to do.
And girl, Vanessa Edmonds.
This is not for TV, so I will not respond. But just know this. With that doctor being as awesome as a doctor as he is.
He lost a patient.
He lost a patient. He lost a patient. And I've also gone to a doctor's appointment with my mother in chronic pain. And how are you going to assess somebody properly if you don't touch them?
You cannot.
Now, my mother is a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
And baby, she will scrub 3 layers of dirt off of you. She believes in just cleanliness.
It sounds like my mama.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
But how dare you come into this office, bill her insurance, and not touch her and see about her? And this woman is over here balled up in pain. I'm talking about hurting. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miss, my mom's name, I tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead on. I tell you what,
Yep.
Mama, come on, get your stuff, Mama. We're going to go. And I'm going to say this really nice because, you have to protect yourself and you have to conduct yourself.
You do, V.
Because, a lot of times people think that we're really ignorant.
Ooh, baby, you better say a word,
I can
honey.
give you that, but I choose not to.
Baby.
I can give you that, but I choose not to. You understand? But my mama, you won't bill her insurance. You won't mistreat this black woman, okay? Regardless of whether you are a black man, black woman, Chinese, whatever.
Right.
You're going to treat my mother with
Hold
respect.
that thought, V. Because when we come back, I want to know, did you complain? Because we need to talk about that. We'll be right back after the break.
All right.
Welcome to the Adventurous Podcast. I'm your host, Deidre Perry, and these are my co-hosts. And weekly, we will be coming to you to bring you the latest information in the world of agriculture. We invite you to join us every Saturday from 10 to 10:30. Join us. Come on, take an adventure.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com. You're watching the Tonya G Show. I'm here with my co-host, Vanessa Edmonds, and we were talking about healthcare. And I wanted to know, did you complain those 2 times when you had to walk out or when the doctor lost the patient?
Well, in my situation, I did not. Later on, I saw the doctor in my doctor's office, in my dentist's office, and I wanted to say something then. This baby's 18 years old now, and I just didn't. I still hadn't said anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very good doctor, though, and I still have a great deal of respect for him. But as far as with my mother, I believe in, I'm matured. And I believe in putting the pen to the paper.
I am the same way, Mama. I will write a letter in a minute.
I will write.
You will hear my voice.
You will hear my voice. You will hear my voice. In social media, people need to understand that this particular platform, it can be a great asset to you.
Very much so.
It can build you up or
Right.
it can tear you down.
Right.
And you just have to be careful. If you do not want to be there, don't be there.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. I put the pen and the paper on them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I black and white that
Ooh,
thing.
yes.
Because, number one, you're not going to mistreat her.
True.
You're just not going to do that. And it was handled. And we moved right on along to someone else. And she was taken care of.
Well, I think, too, people need to understand that, it's okay to complain when you are mistreated.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people like to, I don't want to cause a ruckus, because I'm so vocal, people tend to tell me, you just show out too much. Y'all don't show out enough.
That's
Because
the problem. They don't show out
baby,
enough.
if you don't know it's a pervasive problem, how can they fix
How
it?
can they
if you
fix it
don't
if you don't complain?
how can they make it right? So you have to exercise your right as a citizen. You will not mistreat me and my money.
Okay.
And if you do mistreat me, you're going to hear my voice on the back end. So
Right.
that's just how I am.
Okay. Tonya.
Yes.
Tonya.
I'm here.
Okay. We can't make none shake when we're quiet.
Oh. Better say it, Mama. You better say it. And we're going to move on to this next topic here. I want to get into LGBTQIA because, it's a whole lot of letters that have been not added. But I was reading an article that said that trans youth deserve to play sports. What's your take on trans youth playing sports?
They can play sports if that's what they so desire to do. But let's understand this. You have a girl.
Now, when we say girl, because you have to.
Well, let me just be specific.
Because it's all kinds of wording now.
Well, for clarification, let's get this understood. I don't know all that other stuff that's added on. I just know the LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the LMNOP. And I'm not being funny. I'm being serious.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I don't want my girl to have to compete with the strengths,
baby,
of a child that was not born. Because, to be honest with you, we all know boys are stronger than girls.
Isn't that the truth?
They have testosterone.
Come on, V.
Okay? And, we all, we got this equal rights and all this. We got all this going on at the end. And I'm with everything. Do us right. But my daughters, I do not want them competing on the field with a boy, or even if this child they're trans. Right. I don't want them to have to compete like that, because I'm that mama that if my son was playing football and a young boy hit him too hard, I'm the mama coming out the stands. I'm leaving my shoes. I'm on the way, baby. Move back.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
So I could imagine if I know, because people, they hide things like that, and you
Absolutely.
wouldn't know. But kids have a tendency to find things out. So let's just say that they're on the soccer field, and this particular child, they're playing soccer, and this child is kicking this ball and hit my baby, constantly hitting
Right.
it, and it hurts.
Right.
It's just
the mother in you.
No. I'm
you
against it.
I also am against it, because what you are biologically born is just what you are, Now, I will say there's a portion of it that says intersex, and intersex means that you can be born with both genitalia. So, how do you draw the line between somebody who has both parts and doesn't know which gender they may necessarily want to be? Because I also read an article about an intersex woman who had ovaries, fallopian tubes, and everything, and her parents removed it and forced her to be a boy. So she's upset now because she feels like the right for her to choose what she wanted to be was taken from her. So, when it's such, only one chromosome separates us, X and Y. You
right,
understand?
X and Y. That's
so,
exactly right.
How do you deal with that? You know what I mean?
Well, in the event that was the case, you allow that child to get old enough, you'll see, I think, because you'll be able to see what
they identify with.
What they identify with. What is it, more of a feminine quality that they have? Or is it more of a masculine quality? Or you allow the child to make the decision themselves.
Do you feel like transgender, whatever is being pushed upon us, like in movies, in sitcoms, in everything? Do you feel like everything is just being forced upon us?
Well, absolutely. People always forcing stuff upon you. I mean, they want to. I think that people have a motive with stuff. You know, you're gonna accept what you're gonna accept. You're gonna love what you love. You're gonna love who you love. You know, whatever it is whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to make me be something that I don't want to be.
Right.
I'm going to be who I am. But I do think, I read a post today, and the post said, one of my classmates put it out there, I want to get it right. So we're celebrating, oh gosh, what was that post? And I hate to misquote something. Yeah. But basically, let's celebrate togetherness, you know, like with us, with, you know, heterosexual relationships. You know, it's Pride Month. So everybody's celebrating Pride Month.
Okay.
Let's celebrate Heterosexual Month. That's all he was saying.
Because as heterosexual people, that's not something that we discuss. We don't sit up and say we're heterosexual. That's not the focus. So why are we focusing on people's sexual? And I know a lot of people would say it's not sexual. It's not all sexual, but it really is if you just think about it. So why are we focusing so much on people's what you do behind closed doors? Who cares?
Whatever you do is what you do.
Right.
You know, and my thing is, stop trying to push stuff off on people. I can't make you do what I do.
Right.
I can't make you like lemonade if you like sweet tea. You can't make me like whatever it is that you like.
Right.
People need to stop. You can have an opinion and you can keep it moving. Why do you have to put it out here in the media? Why do you have to glorify it? Why do we have to give it a this? Why do we have to give it a that? Why do we have to give it a day? Why do we have to give it a number? Why do we have to put every letter in the alphabet behind whatever it is?
Why do we have to change restrooms now?
Why do we have to do that? And let me tell you, I'm glad you said restrooms because this really bothered me. So we were in a mall. And my girls are old enough at this point where they can go to the restroom kind of by themselves. I'm behind them still. I'm not letting them go to the restroom by themselves. I'm kind of lingering behind. So they have the family restrooms now. And that's another problem that we have. If a person if a female goes into a male restroom and something happened, you're coming out and you're going to be terrified.
Right. Because
you can be raped or anything can happen.
Right.
And the same way with, I don't want my girls going into the restroom and there's a male in there.
Right.
We wouldn't know.
Exactly.
Because, you know, with all this makeup and stuff, nowadays
baby.
You don't know. You just don't know.
We'll be right back after the break. We'll pick up with that.
Hey family, this is Pastor J.R.D. Stuckey
and Pastor Jonathan T. Phillips Jr.
And together we are the host of The Doors of the Church Are Open right here on WeBelieveDigital.com.
And you can meet us, greet us, and be a part of this platform, this conversation every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. We're ready to talk about those things that's going on in our churches, around our churches, what we believe, what we feel, those taboo conversations that people really, Pastor, just don't want to deal with.
So every Thursday right here at 6:30, join us where we're going to talk about what's going on with the doors of the church are open.
Bob knows it's never too early for a final expense policy to protect his son. Sue made sure that all their final expense policies are in place. Helen's final expense policy guarantees she won't be a burden to her daughter. Jane's mother's final expense policy covered her final arrangements and so much more. Your final expense policy can cover funeral services, medical bills, debt, and provide cash security. And there are no medical exams required. Call the KPG agency at 601-500-2751 to set up your policy today. The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com.
You're watching the Tonya G Show. I'm still here with my co-host, Vanessa. You were saying that you wouldn't want men to go into the women's restroom, and pick up on that point.
That's just basically it. I just don't feel that comfortable with that. I mean, I just don't. Be the best you that you can be. Love yourself. If you feel that that you are not who you were born to be, hey, do what you do.
Right.
But don't try to push things off on other people.
Right.
Because, if I'm trying to drill into your head to go and marry this man or marry this woman, and that's not where you want to be, you wouldn't want me to do you like that.
Absolutely.
So don't you try to. That's just
a good point.
It is a very valid point.
Yes.
So be your own authentic self.
Right.
Love you first.
Right.
And therefore, if you love yourself, you wouldn't worry about what anybody else thinks. You wouldn't have to try to pull anybody else into what you are. You wouldn't have to try to form you a community of people to celebrate you and being who you are.
Absolutely.
Know who you are and whose you are. Trust God and keep it moving. That's all I got to say about that.
We're going to move on to the next topic. Baby, let's get into COVID. COVID. We are finally, outside is opening back up. People are traveling. Mm-hmm. You've been vaccinated, and how do you feel about the vaccination, V? Is that you don't feel one way or another? I mean, do you feel like people are trying to force the vaccine on us?
And I'm just going to sit right here and rock. Okay.
Tell me, V.
Okay. I want some people out there in the audience to y'all tell us how y'all feel about it.
Call in. Text.
Send us a message over the air. Drop something out the sky.
Let us know how you feel.
Open the door and let us in. Because let me tell you something. All I got to say is, I ain't doing it. And leave me alone.
V, why you a woman after my own heart? Why you ain't doing it, V? Why you ain't doing it? Girl, you go.
Now let me tell you. Now, Tonya,
I'm listening.
You gonna have people calling me tonight saying, I can't believe you got your little self on that. Because I don't care how old I get, I got
your little self.
I got
always tell your mama
that always call me my little self. You done went and got your little self on that girl show and doing all that loud talking and carrying on, and went and told these folks don't go get the COVID shot.
That's what you're saying? That's not what you're saying.
You just shouldn't be doing it. These folks need to get that shot. We need to get back to living. Now let me tell you.
Ooh, you got tears.
Let me tell you something. COVID has caused me some depression. I'm talking about just when people dying alone,
right.
Just from having to be stuck in the house,
right.
Just from me having to cry and lay on my belly for things, keeping my children covered,
right.
Asking God to keep us covered. And I'm telling you, I have been vaccinated for other things. You know, you have to go and get your booster shots.
Right.
I owned a daycare center. I had to go and get booster shots for that. You have something that came here and killed a multitude of people to me. You know, because let me tell you something. When 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people die, you know, and however many, and for no reason, and you don't know what's going on, that's a lot of people.
It is.
So when it's thousands, and when it's hundreds, and it's thousands, and it's hundreds of thousands, that's a lot of people to me.
It is.
That's a lot of people to me. And with that being said, I just couldn't bring myself to go and get a shot that somebody, it's like they're competing. You got Johnson & Johnson,
baby,
competing with Moderna and Pfizer, and then they recall Johnson & Johnson, and I'm sitting here like, but that's the one I was gonna go get because number one, as crazy as it seems, you know, me being as old as I am, I don't want nobody sticking me unless I have to get stuck.
Right.
And we all at this point they're saying y'all need to go get stuck so we can get back to living. Okay, here it is. It's a booster shot, which means that just like the flu shot,
Is it?
you have just like the flu shot, you have to go and get it again. You do.
Every year.
Every year. For those of you who have done it, for those of you who have already gone and taken your shot, I commend you. My hats are off to you. I thank you because that is what you felt like you needed to do.
Right.
If my purse was in here, I would take out my hand sanitizer, but this is me. I'm going to put that mask on. You understand me? And Tonya G is over here and Vanessa is over here, but baby, let me tell you something. We in our own space. They have sanitized up in here and Lysol and everything else, so I'm comfortable in this setting. And we ain't all over each other. Do you understand me?
Yes.
And you have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. My nerves and my everything and whatever is not there yet, and that is that's how I feel about it.
Do you not trust the shot, and why don't you trust the shot? What is the reasoning behind it? Do you feel like it's too soon to have a vaccine? They haven't done enough testing. What are your thoughts on why you need some more time?
I need some more everything. And this is the last thing I have to say about that in my Forrest Gump voice. I don't want to take the shot, and that's just all I got to say about that.
We're gonna move on. We are gonna move on. We're gonna go to something a little light here. I came across this article and it said, head of world's largest family dies in India. Polygamous sect leader with 38 wives, 89 children, and 33 grandchildren passes away at 76. What you think about polygamy, V? That's a whole lot of populating, baby.
Foolishness.
Foolishness, V?
Let me say it again. Foolishness.
I just thought that was interesting. 38 wives, 89 children, V. Speak on it.
I've said what I've had to say. Ain't nothing else I can say. Foolishness. Foolishness. Why? What in the world do you need with that many wives?
How can you satisfy that many women, V? What you do? How?
Why? What woman in her right mind even want to be? See, mental illness is real because all of those wives don't have good sense. None of them.
What if they built financial wealth and have self-sustaining businesses? Because
I don't care if they built a city. Foolishness. And that kind of stuff right there don't even need to hit the airwaves. Foolishness. Keep that business to yourself. Don't nobody want to know nothing about it.
I also came across an article that says top Republicans demand criminal charges for whoever leaked files showing billionaires, including Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, paid no taxes. Baby, speak on that. Speak on them no taxes and not paying it with all that money you got.
Pay your money. Do you not know that the IRS have the nerve to knock on, send folks all kind of letters in the mail that owe $1,500, $1,500,
a couple of
$100. We're trying to put a lien on people's property.
Garnish
people's check. Do you hear?
If you owe some child support, baby.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know about this. These folks will send you.
We'll be right back after the break.
Ooh.
Socrates Gary Live every Tuesday on WeBelieveDigital.com. Socrates talks politics, finances, and social issues that affect the Black community and so much more. Phenomenal guests and engaging conversation. Straight talk, no nonsense topics that are informative, educational, and inspiring. Socrates goes live with politicians, church leaders, business owners, and others. The time is now. Talking to you about us. Socrates Gary Live every Tuesday on WeBelieveDigital.com.
Bob knows it's never too early for a final expense policy to protect his son. Sue made sure that all their final expense policies are in place. Helen's final expense policy guarantees she won't be a burden to her daughter. Jane's mother's final expense policy covered her final arrangements and so much more. Your final expense policy can cover funeral services, medical bills, debt, and provide cash security. And there are no medical exams required. Call the KPG agency at 601-500-2751 to set up your policy today. The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com. You're watching the Tonya G Show, and we were talking about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos not paying those taxes. Speak on it.
Give us our money. And what I mean by our, if I have to pay, you need to pay. If you can pay $28 million or charge somebody $28 million to go in outer space, who does that? And they're talking about this $28 million as if though it is $28.00. Bring me those $28 million, sir. And I will put you on a bus and drive you around the country because that's what I have to take. Sir, bring me those $28 million and I will make sure you get back home safe because there's no guarantee that you're going to go in outer space and get back here.
There is no guarantee.
There's no, but that's when you have, so that $28 million or that whatever he's spending to get there, that's money that he owes in taxes.
Well, the fact that you can give $11 billion to your ex-wife, talking about Jeff Bezos, Amazon, $11 billion in a divorce settlement, V, why you not paying your taxes?
Why you not paying your taxes? And you know what? And I'm glad she got that money. And I want to thank you for sharing it with the HBCUs.
She did do that.
And we are and we are absolutely going to be looking forward to you being generous again. Thank you, ma'am. But Jeff Bezos, you better pay that money, sir. And if somebody can see me in my squinting of the eyes, you send this message to him. Vanessa Edmonds said, pay that money.
Pay it back. We're gonna switch gears a little bit to politics, V. Now, I'm not really politically savvy, but I just kind of want to touch on your thoughts of how you think President Biden and Kamala Harris are doing in office, and do you think they are doing anything for black people specifically? And should the president do anything for black people? Should that even be something that the president tackles, making sure that black people have, public policy that reflects, equality and fairness? Should the president do things for black folks?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to say this and they're going to agree with me on this one right here. But, Uncle Joe has given folks the opportunity to sit at home and get some checks. Have he made some of them lazy? Absolutely.
Did the people need the help with the checks? Did they need that?
Yeah. Some them did, but it's been a lot of stuff going on where people was just getting stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Because I know some folks that, and I see it all the time, that been getting stuff for years and didn't deserve it. And as far as should he do something, I understand that he's the president of the whole United States. But black folks done deal with that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And on a serious note, I understand that he's not going to be able to say, this is for black people. And this is for white people.
Well, you say this is for LGBTQ. You make that distinction.
And then they make a distinction also that I have a friend girl right now. Now, this is a problem that I have with any president. We always take care of everybody else but us.
That's all I'm saying. Why is that, V?
I don't understand it myself because I'm not a political person. I'm not, I listen and I decide who I'm going to vote for, and I kind of follow their path and make sure and see if I need to vote for them again. But as of right now, I don't see anything going on except the fact of unemployment, PPP loans, and SBA stuff and stuff like that.
That's a joke.
That's all that I see as of right now, and pushing the vaccine.
Well, what you think about the PPP loans and helping businesses, so to speak, kind of get out of whatever? But there are some people who've been lying about some stuff, V.
Well, if the PPP loans was given to the people that actually had the professional businesses, then I wouldn't have a problem. But considering the fact that people that don't even own businesses,
ooh, baby,
huh?
Speak on it.
Okay.
They gonna get in trouble, V.
Don't care nothing about it. They going down there seeing Dr. Miami, getting snatched up.
Baby, what?
They buying the best of hair. They and the thing about it is, you need to put that money up.
V, that's my thing.
You have been given an opportunity.
Baby, if you're gonna get the money, why are you not stacking the money to build your business? If you have a business, why are you so materialistic and vain that you are doing cosmetic procedures?
Our people.
Serious, Vanessa. Like, come on, man. Really?
It's the lack of knowledge, baby. It's the lack of knowledge. Perishing.
It is.
It's the lack of knowledge.
How do we instill knowledge? Now, I hope that this platform gives some insight a little bit. That's the little piece that we're contributing. But how do we instill knowledge in people who don't want to listen or learn, it seems? How you do it? How you fix it?
If I could package that, and if I knew that.
When we all be rich?
Baby. If I felt like I could knock on the door, see, you can't even go and knock on the door anymore of people's home and say, you have a young person in here that I want to mentor.
Right.
Send that child to my house. Them folk will cuss you out. You can't help, because a lot of times people don't want to receive it because it's like a slap in the face.
Right.
And it's really not.
It's not.
People want to help. People want to do. It's people out here that still genuinely love, like grandmama, like great grandmama, like granddaddy. Back when we weren't having things, it's that genuine love where I see that there's a problem, baby. Let me help you.
Right.
I see that your family is not helping you because they just can't.
Right.
And a lot of this stuff, let's even talk about this. A lot of this stuff is generational. I know we were talking about the president,
right, and
we were talking about VP, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about how things are generational.
Indeed.
And you got a mother that has had the mother figure there, but she's actually been motherless.
Right.
Because mama is tired because she probably had to leave mama's house because she wasn't wanted there anymore. You understand? So here she is walked into a home with a man who really didn't want her there and didn't know how to celebrate the person that she was.
Yep.
So she is being abused mentally.
Yes.
She is being abused physically.
Yes.
Okay? And where there's abuse, mental abuse, and there's physical abuse, you can't even get up to go make you no money. Okay? So then you got to go and tell these folks all your business.
Better say a word, V.
Well, where did you go and where did you conceive? That's too personal.
It is.
But if you want these stamps and you want this check, you're going to have to give me your business. So they're sipping wine with their little friends. Guess somebody came in the office today and they are XYZ. So we got this stuff didn't just start. This isn't 50 years of being pressed down.
Exactly.
This isn't 75 years. We got hundreds of years of just stuff.
PTSD, baby, PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress.
It's a real thing.
And let me tell you something. When you carrying that baby, my grandmother always told me, she said, you need to stay happy. I need to see you smiling all the time. I need to see you reading something. I need to see you praising God. I need to see you loving yourself. And I need to see you celebrating yourself. Because you carrying a baby inside your womb. And however you are, when you carrying that baby in your womb,
that's the truth.
That is what you are putting inside of that baby. You have a seed planted inside of you. And a lot of times people don't understand. When you walking around with your head bowed, when you walking around and all that brokenness is going on inside of you, you are pushing that energy into that child. So that's where a lot of all of this stuff is coming from. You understand me?
I do.
And like I said, the communities.
Miss Vanessa Edmonds, baby, I have enjoyed you.
Ooh.
She got to come back, y'all. She coming back. She'll be back. Thank you for watching.
All right.
New look, new network. Catch the Tonya G Show every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. on WeBelieveDigital.com. Let's talk politics, business, the future, and more. Interested in being a guest? Email viralstreamtv@gmail.com. The Tonya G Show, where the guest is the star of the show. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. live streamed on WeBelieveDigital.com. The average cost of a funeral is over $8,500. Are your loved ones prepared for this financial burden? If you are 85 years old or younger, Final Expense Life Insurance can ease that burden by paying up to $30,000 for funeral and burial expenses. No medical exams, rates will never increase, benefits will never decrease. Call now to lock in your lowest rate possible. Don't leave your loved ones to pay your debt. Call the KPG agency at 601-500-2751 to set up your policy today.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.